I'm excited to share Bill as an exclusive sponsor of the Thrivecast. They have been sponsoring the Thrivecast for so long. Thank you, Bill. Our firm has been using Bill for over a decade now. We actually use it in all of our foundational CFO and controllership engagements. We have to turn all of our clients' financial processes digital, and we do that with Bill. And you can check out some webinars and blogs and even toolkits that I build with Bill to help in your firm. So thank you, Bill, for being a sponsor of the Thrivecast. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another Thrivecast episode. We're so pumped to bring you to another show and want to remind you that our Deeper Weekend Conference tickets are now on sale. You can go to Thrival.com and then just hit the Deeper Weekend navigation at the top. We have people signing up already, and our guest today is actually going to be one of our sponsors live. It's going to be really cool. And who is joining us on the show is somebody that can teach us as firm entrepreneurs how to run our firms better. We all need help with that. It's Nellie Akalp, and she is the CEO of CorpNet. She is a passionate entrepreneur, business expert, mother of 4, so she has time to do all this, and a trusted resource and provider for businesses who are doing incorporations, LLCs. These are all the things we know about as firm owners. And her team, they recently launched a partner program for lawyers and accountants to actually do this compliance work that we do for all 50 states. And we've just started recently using CorpNet, and it's really starting to help us get organized on how to keep our clients compliant all over the country. So, Nellie, welcome to the Thrivecast. It's so awesome to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. Do you want to come and work for me and just promote us? Because, wow.
Did I do good?
A nice introduction.
Well, listen, we started using it. We're like, we have got to figure out how to make this more efficient, because it is, I think it's crazy. So we've been virtual for 10 years, but our clients are becoming more and more virtual. And so they're starting to hire in any state now. It doesn't matter to them. And so it's starting to become a burden, really, to try to, manage these state compliances. So, I mean, what led you to build CorpNet? Like, what gave you this idea in the first place?
Because I don't know how to do anything else better. Really, my passion is small business. My passion is entrepreneurship. And I went to law school. And in my last year of law school, my husband and I decided, the entry level, the salary for an entry level lawyer is not going to suffice for the type of lifestyle that we wanted to envision for ourselves. And my husband was getting a really low grade in his corporations class, and the internet was just about on the brink of coming out, and exploding.
Yeah.
So he asked me, hey, do you want to start an online business? And I said, yeah, sure. What are you thinking? And he's like, incorporation online. We get to incorporate businesses online. And I said, okay, what's the catch? And he's like, I need $100 from you. And I'm like, oh my God, you need more money? So we started with a one-page website, and soon thereafter, literally, we didn't even have a credit card machine or merchant services at that time. People were so excited about the solution that we were offering out there. And they would literally call our answering machine and place their credit card on the answering machine.
Gosh.
So we got our first client, Tom G, in Oregon, and then after that, it led to another one, and soon thereafter, 10 more. And fast forward to 2005, where we were nearly doing, substantial revenue, gross revenues.
Yeah.
And we were approached by a publicly traded company.
Wow.
Sold the company, took some time off, and we decided we were too young, too passionate, and frankly, too bored to take on an early retirement. So in 2009, we started with CorpNet. And here at CorpNet, our mission is to truly inspire, educate, and support entrepreneurs, tax, accounting professionals, legal professionals, and business together. And we do this by creating and coming up with the most comprehensive cost-effective solutions and services when it comes to starting a business, expanding a business, setting up payroll for clients, and keeping that business in compliance in either one state or in multiple states. And the second time around, you start a business, you sell it, and then you have all this ego, and well, I've done it before, so I can do it again. Right. But really quickly, we found out that, we couldn't do it the same way. So we niched ourselves and we went after the accounting market. We went after the tax professionals, accounting professionals, and just more B2B versus consumer. And it's been phenomenal for us. Accountants love us. Well, we are the accountant's dream come true.
you're solving a pain point for them. So it sounds like you and your husband were both in law school, and the work you were doing before was actually you were incorporating people that were trying to create a corporation. Basically, y'all were just performing legal services. So the second time around, CorpNet is for accountants who are not only some of us do the LLC setup, but not all of us do that. We really have to deal with a lot of the payroll related compliance. And so is this second time around, that's when you built this platform, because it's a well-built platform on the back end. When you log in, obviously there's a whole lot of stuff you can do. How did you hook it up? Here's what I can't figure out, Nellie. You're going to have to tell me technically how this works. So what we've been doing up to this point as a firm is our team's good at going to a state's website and registering with the state, but they're all different. They're all difficult to navigate. They certainly don't communicate. So how do you hook up CorpNet's back end to all of the states back in, or is there you just have a great team in the back managing those registrations? Like, how do you?
If I could hook up CorpNet to a state's back end the way I want to hook up CorpNet to a state's back end, then I'd be set. Stated, we have a great team of experts that are around the clock doing a lot of research and doing a lot of compliance research to make sure that we have the most up-to-date information in providing to our clients, being the accountants, the tax professionals, the lawyers.
That's awesome.
So it's a combination of efforts on our end. It's a seamless platform that we've created, and I really truly owe that to my husband because he's our brain, he's our visionary, and he's the one who truly is the guru when it comes to looking at a problem and then automating it and providing a solution to it. And going back to what you said, I mean, CorpNet really is a redo of our first company when we started back up in 1997. And CorpNet is really the same exact company, but we're just doing it a little bit differently. This time around, we're really, really focused on being that seamless solution and creating that platform for the B2B market, and really focused on going after the accountant market and the tax professionals, the financial professionals who are representing clients this space, and really making it simplified for them. And what we found as a pain point really came about for us on the heels of the pandemic that happened a couple of years ago. So, and for us as a company, and the best types of ideas, in my opinion, come about when you yourself as a business owner are,
solving your
dealing
own problems
with those pain points.
Yeah.
So for us, it was really the pain point of like, oh my God, what are we going to do? We have to shut down and we have to go remote. And now it was like trying to hire talent in multiple states. So we thought about, okay, well, if we're having this problem, then, 180% of other people
Totally.
are having this problem.
Yeah. Well, and it's an
So that's
efficiency. It's an efficiency issue
exactly.
for us because what we're especially compliance related services, more and more those are being taken up a lot with technology. Technology is able to start solving a lot of those compliance related things. But that's what we do as a profession. We do solve a lot of compliance things, and it's for firm owners. There's a lot of things that we can navigate that are technical, that are easy for us. Not necessarily easy, but we know how to get through the technical side. But it's a service to a market because the entrepreneurial market has no clue about compliance related things. So what we need as a solution is an efficiency. We need something to solve something for us. And I guess, was that part of your deal, setting up this CorpNet? So now firms go through this platform. It's the same. You do everything the same. You can hit any state. And then y'all are basically dealing with the messy part on the back end. I guess, is that how you're bringing efficiency?
Right. Yeah. That's exactly right. We're making it possible for accountants, entrepreneurial accountants, tax professionals, CPAs, legal and tax professionals to become a one-stop shop for their clients. And by providing a platform to these professionals whereby they can, see their clients earlier on in the business startup process, and also become a one-stop shop for their clients during the post-formation phase and compliance process and expansion process. And one of the reasons we did this was because we saw a need for it, because accountants were left and right losing clients because their clients were getting poached by other competitors of theirs. And also they were struggling because they would often find themselves doing this research or, creating this kind of, I would say, failure on their part in the eyes of their clients, because they wouldn't really be looked upon as an advisor. If a client came in and said, hey, I need to expand my business from one state into multiple states. How do I do this? How do I set up a payroll tax account? And oftentimes the accountant would have to do the research themselves, or they would be like, hey, I don't know, go to a lawyer, go look it up on the state side. And that's the problem that we solved for the accountant. So now the accountant not only has this platform that can support them, but look at the beauty of it. They're becoming more of an enhanced, trusted advisor in the eyes of their clients, and they get to increase and add an additional stream of revenue to their firm's practice.
And are there things you would tell a firm, like there are some legal things you would want to stay away from, and there's some compliance things you do want to do? I mean, do you know, what would you suggest they do or not do?
So as you know, our company CorpNet cannot provide legal, tax, or financial advice. We are strictly a legal document filing service, specializing in assisting entrepreneurs, accountants, tax professionals, legal professionals with all of the ins and outs of filing business entities, setting up payroll tax accounts or sales and tax accounts in any of the 50 states, and keeping those businesses in compliance. So there are UPL issues, but we try to stay away from them. And accountants, they often come to me and they'll be like, well, Nellie, wait a minute. I'm a tax advisor. I cannot advise people on what type of entity to form. And believe it or not, we often educate accountants that you're actually in the best position to advise your clients on the type of entity to set up, because most clients will come to their accountants and be like, hey, should I form a corporation or an LLC or an S Corp?
Yeah.
Which is going to give me the best tax savings?
Yeah.
So the accountant is in the best position to basically advise their clients as to the type of entity to form.
Yeah.
The accountant is also in the best position to also advise their clients as to the fact that, hey, once you form this entity and if you have clients, you need to set up payroll tax accounts, because if you don't, the IRS is going to come after you.
Yeah.
You know, so
well, that's interesting. Yeah.
That's not the practice of law. The practice of law is when that accountant is advising the client from a liability standpoint as to whether that entity will be able to protect them. But from a tax standpoint, that accountant is in the best position to advise their clients, because they're going to go to their lawyer, and the lawyer is going to be like, talk to your accountant when it comes to tax advice,
That's interesting.
So and we educate the accountant on those issues as well. We guide them. We have a plethora of training guides and materials that we can walk our partners through.
Yeah, that's very cool. Well, it's interesting what you're saying, where you're educating accountants what they can or should do and should not do. And I think a lot of times we as firm owners will steer away from telling a client, possibly about incorporating or LLC, but we actually do know from a tax perspective what's going to be best for that client. And I think there is this thing between, lawyers and accountants. A lot of times we bump into each other in this marketplace, right? We cross over in a lot of our services, and sometimes
Well, actually give me a good idea right now. How can I morph these two together so you guys can actually help?
Yeah, if we can help each other, because sometimes we'll get a new client and the lawyer has created some of the most complicated business filings ever. One LLC owns another one, and some of that's necessary in some situations for liability purposes. But then we respond to the client, this is very cumbersome to run as a business, because now we got to have a set of accounting records. We've got to have tax returns for each one of these. Some roll up into other tax returns. The client doesn't understand that. So I think a lot of times the lawyers and the accountants are bumping into each other. And what you're saying is actually don't default just letting the attorney decide. It sounds the accountants are the ones that can lead the relationship as far as should you be an S Corp, LLC, just incorporate in generally, or be a sole proprietor. We're the ones that should decide that, you think. Okay.
Exactly. And giving advice to your clients when it comes to the type of business entity that they should form, when it comes to tax implications and which one will have the best tax implication for your clients is not considered the practice of law. The practice of law would be if your client came to you and asked you if from a liability standpoint, the S Corp would be, would protect them more as opposed to a C Corp, or a C Corp would be a better type of legal entity for liability protection over an LLC.
Okay.
But when it comes to taxes, the accountant is in the best position, and that's really where it boils down to, and that's where there's so much lack of awareness for accountants, even to this day, whereby they're really, really kind of like laissez-faire from offering these services. But then once they do, they immediately see their revenues 10xing because you're offering all of these types of services to your clients and keeping that client in your firm versus having that client go to a competitor or an online service that most likely is going to sell your clients hundreds of thousands of subscriptions and upsells,
Okay.
So by partnering with a company like ours, we are, we've been endorsed by accountants and we work with accountants, and we're not here to sell accounting services, to the accountant's clients, because accountants are our bread and butter, so you're not going to have your clients poached from us.
Yeah, nice. Okay. Well, so things have changed since the pandemic. So we've been a virtual firm for 10 years, our firm, and we were always doing, multi-state things because our clients that came to us were okay being virtual. But after the pandemic, it's really blown up. So, every client that was virtual, they're now working very decidedly in that way. So when they hire people, they do not care what state they're in now. And our whole client base basically is virtual. And so now they're throwing states at us all the time. And a lot of times they're like, oh, by the way, we hired somebody last week in Ohio. We're like, wait, we gotta go register you guys before you can start paying this person. Can you think of what kind of role or what should a firm do internally to start making this more efficient? Like, do we need to set a particular person in our firms that are managing, like, for example, who would be in charge of the CorpNet platform in a firm? Is that a particular
Great
role
question.
or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends on the size of your firm, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah.
If you're a one-man firm, then I would say really what you should be doing is partnering with CorpNet, because CorpNet truly is a platform where not only we provide concierge type services to our accounting clients, we fill that role. So when you're saying, would we have one person at the firm, basically managing all of that firm's clients? That, in essence, would be CorpNet, and that's why we've built the platform that CorpNet has built to be able to support the accounting firm's clients. And we've built it so that with a single point of contact, you're able to load up one entity up to hundreds of thousands of entities.
Yeah.
So it's a platform where we not only monitor, we're proactively reminding you of compliance alerts and due dates when it comes to your business entities. And in addition, we're also there to make sure that when you do have a client that needs to expand in state X or Y, we're right there at your beck and call, whereby we can file the documents to foreign qualify that company in state X or Y.
Yeah.
And on top of that, if they have employees that they have to run payroll for, we can also set up their state tax registration and payroll tax accounts in those states.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very automated platform. In fact, it's so automated that most payroll service providers rely on us as their premier platform for their clientele.
That is so cool. So I want to take a quick break for a sponsor promo, and then I want to come back and ask you something about what you just said. I'm excited to share Divvy as an exclusive sponsor of the Thrivecast. Unlike expense management, spend management from Divvy now lets us provide cards to our team members, apply budgets to those cards with preset levels up front for each team member. And as we've implemented spend management, we no longer have to deal with the messy receipts on the back end of our expense management process. Check out getdivvy.com. That's GETDIVVY.com for more information on managing your funds and moving them to the front of your spend process. So the more and more payroll services we're using, and these are, the big bulky online payroll companies, and there's a lot of them, right? And as accounting firm owners, we all know who they are. A lot of them are struggling to keep up because they need to hire a lot of technical people behind the scenes to run the payroll. Now, one thing they don't do is they don't do the registrations in states or anything like that. So are those payroll companies starting to use platforms like yours to run registrations, or do the payroll companies still want the firms to kind of get everything registered and then key in the unemployment and the Department of Revenue withholding numbers into the platform? Like,
That's a great question.
how are y'all?
Yeah.
How are you doing that with payroll companies?
That's a great question. So it depends on that payroll service provider.
Okay.
Work with many payroll service providers, and some of them use us for strictly the payroll aspect side of things,
Yeah.
and mainly for that product, which
Right.
is the state tax registration.
State
Because
registration.
as you may know, a lot of the payroll service companies, when their clients set up for payroll, they have payroll blockers, so that if the client is about to run payroll, the payroll blocker kicks in that says, hey, we can't run your payroll until we have your SIT or SUI account
Right.
number.
Happens all the time. Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Yeah.
And that's where CorpNet comes in,
Yeah.
and the client will be directed to us via a back-end interface. We'll update and obtain those accounts for them within that state, and then they're able to process payroll. But in addition to that, that client will come to us, and it's a relationship that we're building as well with that client. And our mission, as I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast, is to truly inspire, educate, and support entrepreneurs and professionals. So as part of supporting the setup of their state tax account, we also take our time in educating that client as well as to, well, do you have a business entity? Is your business entity set up and foreign qualified in these other states? And in determining that, we have to determine if there's nexus and connectivity within those states. So all in all, at the end of the day, it's an educational process. But in answer to your question, most of the payroll service providers start by using us for their, for the actual obtainment of the setup of the state tax registration accounts, which is the SUI, SIT. But eventually they'll see that there's a larger need for their clients, and obviously who doesn't want to make more revenue? So it typically starts small, and then it kind of expands into a larger relationship.
Okay, very cool. So one thing that's cool about CorpNet is when we use the platform, we do have an account manager. I can't remember the name of that role. So are you trying to hire?
Dedicated account manager.
Okay, so a dedicated account manager. So they start to know what we're always doing, the things we're trying to figure out and things like that. So who are you trying to hire to do that role? Is it technical people? Is it really account management, help, care related people? Now I'm kind of asking you as the CEO how you lead your team in doing some of the things they do with technical compliance people. I think they're more service minded, I think, is kind of their approach to us.
At the end of the day, if you do, at the end of the day, we are a service company, and we are a service-based company that is in the business of creating relationships with our clients and building and cultivating those relationships. So when it comes to talent recruitment, we're always looking at individuals with obviously sales experience, customer service experience, what is their degree of being relational and their relational alignment within themselves and towards others. Because, you got to love people if you're going to be in a service company.
That's right.
And you're going to want to be, someone who doesn't mind being on the phone with people, doesn't mind and can handle rejections, and is able to give unsurpassed customer service. So for us, it all really boils down to, who that person is and whether they're a people person. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to be talking to people, you got to love people.
Nice. Well, that is the people we've run into in CorpNet, and it's still a cool platform because it's organizing the back end of all of our states. And would it make sense for us to move like a lot of our clients have registered agent services too, right? So they need addresses in the states that they're not actually located in. And that's part of
Yes.
what CorpNet does too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We, in fact, are one of the most competitive registered agent providers
Yeah.
in all 50 states.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why, is because there's a lot of bigger type companies out there like CT, CSC, LegalZoom, and they charge a lot of money for their registered agent services.
Yeah.
For example, most will charge upwards of $249, and then that $249 charge, for example, is for the initial year, and then the clients will fail to see the little, writings as disclaimers, in that if the client doesn't cancel after the first year, for example, one competitor for the second year will charge $399.
It goes up.
So
Okay.
we're very upfront with our pricing and cost. If we have firm owners who are wanting to retain our nationwide registered agent services in all 50 states, we actually provide bulk discounts for multiple units of registered agent representation. So that's something that not only you should definitely look into with us, because I'll tell you, I've saved clients upwards of 20 grand a year when they've switched over from their existing agent to CorpNet. And we're not one of those companies who charge per service of process. It's a flat fee of $149 per year. We upload your documents that were served with. There's somebody there between the hours of 8 to 5 within that state. We accept service of process. We accept official mailings. We accept critical mailings, and we simply upload it to your client portal, and you get to have access to it in real time. So
just scan it in.
And we don't hide the ball. It's $149, and if you have multiple units, we have a very straightforward pricing on our website for bulk number of units. So very, very easy and straightforward.
Well, it's cool because we have a client now. They're like, God, I'm in like 9 states. This is getting crazy. And we got registered agents just scattered all over the place. They can't remember who's who. We're trying to keep up with it. And we're like, that stuff needs to just be compiled into one platform and go, this is where we set up states. This is where we manage registered agents. It's got our own firm's dashboard because y'all have a platform for accountants. And I know consumers can use CorpNet too, but you have this partner program for accountants where it starts to compile everything in our own dashboard for our own clients, which is starting to create a lot of efficiency.
Yes, and that's the beauty of it, is the partner program platform is a single platform where the accountant can load up hundreds of thousands of clients and be able to manage all of their clients in one single platform with one single upload. And you log into your platform, you can see all the different clients, all their different companies, what's due for each company, and right through the platform you can renew registered agent services. So it's very, very simplified for the accountant. And frankly, it's built by accountants and lawyers for accountants. We have a team of people that have and currently work on helping us as the founders of the company perfect our platform for accountants, because it's going to be ever changing, and we want to be on the brink of any change that comes up so that the accountant can benefit from it as well.
Nice. Well, tell me exactly. All right. So what all does CorpNet do? What can we do now that we're in that platform? It's probably more than I even realize. Like, do you have an extensive list? Like,
I do have an extensive list. Simply stated, we're a one-stop shop for accountants, entrepreneurs, legal and tax professionals, anybody who represents a client. And if their client wants to start a business, if they want to incorporate a business, if they want to form an LLC, if they have an existing LLC or corporation and they want to foreign qualify and expand into other states,
Yeah.
we can assist with all of those filings.
Nice.
In addition, we have our payroll tax registration service whereby we can help the accountant, the entrepreneur, the tax and legal professional with setting their clients up in the states that client is running payroll with the payroll tax account, which is the state income tax account, the state unemployment insurance account. And we do that in all 50 states. And the best thing about this is that for accountants and tax, legal, financial professionals that are representing clients, we have our CorpNet partner program that creates and allows this platform for accountants and entrepreneurs to offer the incorporation, LLC filing, business startup services, business compliance services, payroll tax registration services to their clients through our platform. And for those of you who want more information on this, all you have to do is just log on to www.corpnet.com and right in the front page, it'll say partner with us. And you click on it and it basically gives you all the information about the program. But just a brief recap of the program is that as an accountant, you can either resell our services under your own brand and we'll just do all the back end work for you.
Which is what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah, exactly. And you do that with Jose in our office.
That's right, Jose.
But the program is really flexible. It's designed for the accountant and we truly design it to work at your pace. So let's say you're an accountant who doesn't want to be the middleman, and you want to just refer your clients to a trusted resource that will take VIP services, concierge type services, white glove services with your clients and bring them right back to you. That's our referral program. You sign up as a referral partner. We set you up. You start referring your clients to us. The client gets what they need, and you can either get a referral fee off each order that they place with us, or if you don't want to share in those fees, you can simply pass on the discount to your client that you would have otherwise received as a commission. Now, let's say your client doesn't want, let's say that accountant doesn't want their client to know that CorpNet's in the picture. And the accountant is like, well, wait a minute, I want to make some money off this. I want to charge I want to mark up the fee. In that case, accountant can partner with us as a white label reseller. And as a white label reseller, we sell our services to that business professional, that accountant, at a wholesale price. Typically starts at 20% off retail prices. We do all the back end work. We send it over to the accountant, and the accountant puts their branding on it and sells it to their client at an upcharge. And this way, the accountant gets to make a little bit of revenue as a result of that sale. All in all, it's a great service for accountants. It really opens up the accountant's time to focus on what they do best, which is growing their firm and, inviting more clients into their practice.
Well, that's cool. Well, so one last question, Nellie, is I know y'all are committed to education. So what do you produce webinars? What kind of content do you have? And do we have to access that through the platform or the because I know you have a lot of things written up to kind of guide us on how to do it. So what is the education you guys provide?
This is my favorite question. I'm all over the internet. I write for Accounting Today. I write for Forbes. I write for Entrepreneur. I write for Inc. I write 3 times a week on our own blog. So I'm always out there, and I a ton of webinars through a lot of the CPA platforms. I'm actually a resident presenter at cpaacademy.org.
We know that.
And you can see a ton of my webinars on a monthly basis over there.
Nice.
In addition, every webinar or publication that I publish is also sourced in our website.
Cool.
And for partners, we also have an area where we provide guides and training materials and specific webinars if they requested for their audience as well. So, I mean, my title is CEO, but my passion is education. And I work with our partners. If a partner wants me to come and present to their platform, I get very excited about it. And, we schedule a time and we record the segment and then they push it out. I just did one yesterday. So it's very exciting. But
cool.
As far as education and, training and materials, I mean, it's at your fingertips. And if we don't have something that you're looking for, we'll create it for you.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Nellie, thank you for being on the show. And we can't wait to actually see you in October because CorpNet's going to be one of the sponsors of Deeper Weekend, the conference. So,
yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm super, super excited.
It's gonna be great.
Just really, really grateful to have this opportunity to present to your audience. And thank you again for having me. And for those of you who are interested in CorpNet, visit us at www.corpnet.com, or you can email us to info@corpnet.com, or simply pick up the phone, dial 1-888-449-2638.
Very cool. Thank you, Nellie, for being with us on the Thrivecast. We'll see you in October.